Now, if you guys have watched my channel for a while, it's possible you already know that the BenQ 2420T was actually my favorite first generation 3D monitor. That is, by first generation, I don't mean first generation, because the first generation was that ViewSonic one and that Samsung one, both of which were 22 inches, which is not big enough and not high-res enough for a proper gaming experience these days. But by first generation, I mean that went with the NVIDIA 3D Vision V1 glasses. Now, I am very excited, in that case, today, to have a look at the BenQ 2420T. So this is the successor to the 2410T, and what it does is it brings a couple of, wow, it's really light, a couple of interesting new features into the mix, and the biggest one of those is, of course, Lightboost. So it is fully compatible with NVIDIA's Lightboost technology, which basically modulates the backlight of the LCD. Oh, okay. I think I opened it up upside down. You can clearly see all the accessories here were piled in such a way as they would be easily taken out. So why don't we go one by one. What it does is it modulates the backlight in order to create better separation between the left and the right image, and also to reduce the amount of eye fatigue, and finally, last but not least, to boost the amount of light that makes it to your eye. It worked quite well on the Asus 27-inch that I tried so far, but I am very, very excited to see this one. So, what the heck is this? BenQ, gaming is in the details. It's a dust cover. That is certainly a detail. I've never seen a dust cover included with a monitor before. Okay. We've got the base station. It's right here, so that goes in there. Fairly solid looking pieces so far. We've got, this is cool. So this is called the S-Switch. So the S-Switch is for navigating between a few different profiles. So what you can do is you can throw a couple of different profiles on the monitor with respect to, you know, your brightness, your contrast, however you want to have it set up. And then you can use that switch instead of navigating through the clumsy on-screen menus. You can use this switch to quickly switch between your different profiles. So if you have a certain profile that's good for one kind of game but not as good for another kind, you can switch to it like that. And then you can store up to 3 profiles. Another thing that's kind of cool about it as well is the fact that you can download professional gamer profiles. I shouldn't say professional gamers, they are professional gamers. So Heat On and Spawn in particular have profiles you can download and you can use their exact settings. And yeah, we've got some distractions here. So let me get these all kind of unwrapped and I'll get the monitor assembled and we'll have a closer look at it. So before I mount the monitor onto the stand, I just want to have a quick look at what we've got included in terms of inputs. So we've got a very wide variety, including DisplayPort, VGA, DVI. You're going to want to use this one for 3D predominantly, although I guess DisplayPort would also work for 120 Hz. 2 HDMIs, a USB for the built-in hub, and then a USB port that you could plug something into, and this guy is for that S-Switch, which was the thing for, there's your power, for quickly changing profiles. So we're going to go ahead and mount this on here. I also want to talk about some of the other unique features of this monitor before we actually fire it up, because I'm really excited to test this one out. So some of the other unique features are they're all new black equalizers, so BenQ has added some image processing to this monitor that, you know how a lot of the time, whenever you have a shadow in a game, you're almost tempted to turn shadows off because anything with any kind of shade, the shadows aren't soft enough, so you lose all of the detail in there. So BenQ has, according to what they're saying, made it so that shadows are going to lose less of the details, but black will still be black, because a lot of the time the only way to combat that is by turning gamma way up, which means you lose a lot of the color fidelity. So you're either losing image fidelity or you're losing color fidelity, one way or the other. This is also an interesting one. So display mode 17-inch, 19-inch, 19-inch wide, 21.5-inch wide, 22 wide, and 23 wide. I don't understand the point. So guys, please post in the comments if you understand why you would want to quickly be able to virtualize a smaller monitor than the one that you actually purchased. Please let me know why you would want to do that. It includes smart scaling for fine-tuning these different picture sizes. I mean, the one scenario I can think of where it might make sense is something like StarCraft 1, where there's only one resolution that it really looks good at, and otherwise it's going to look stupid. So you might want to quickly scale your monitor to be a 19-inch, for example, you know, to play StarCraft 1. But that's the only scenario I can think of. Let me know if you can think of something else. In terms of included accessories and peripherals, we've got a DVI cable, a VGA cable, a USB cable for the built-in hub. We've got a power connector, and then let's go ahead and get this hooked up here. So let's have a look at the overall aesthetic of the monitor before we get into the performance. There's some pretty cool things. For example, the on-screen display is probably the smartest and easiest to navigate one that I've yet encountered. You just use these touch buttons here, and you go and see it gives you a little context-dependent menu, so that's back. You might want to go picture mode. Oh, right, we need to do that. Yes. Oh, I'm in 3D, so it's not letting me... Okay, it's not letting me navigate right now, but it's very intuitive. See how, depending on the context, the functionality of the buttons changes? All touch sensitive and very easy to use. You can also, however, use this guy right here to scroll between things, and that makes life, once again, even a little bit easier. So we're going to just exit out of that. So industrial design, I mean... BenQ on the 2410, I thought they did a great job on this one. They've done pretty much exactly the same job. Nice thin bezel, very thin monitor. Remember guys, this is LED backlit, so actually, I'm fairly sure it's LED backlit. Hold on. Yeah, it's LED backlit, so that means that you've got better power consumption in addition to actually surprisingly good backlight bleed. Check this out, it comes with a headphone. Whoops. A headphone hanger on the back, so you can hang up your headphones behind your monitor if you're not using them. Yeah, there's no... Oh, look, there is. There's swivel. There's height adjust. There's tilt. And... Oh, nope, we don't have any pivot. So it's got pretty much your basic functionality. Now I want to talk about the monitor itself. So it does use a matte screen, which many of you do find preferable. Personally, I find that to be very preferable. And in terms of the 3D performance, it is outstanding. So you see how bright areas like this look? That part of that is because of Lightboost technology. So as soon as I look through, I wonder if you look through the glass. Yeah, so if you look through the glasses, you'll see more like the brightness that I'm seeing, which is significantly brighter then actually, you know what? I bet you can also see if you look through the glasses. So that's significantly brighter than 3D Vision V1. I actually want you here, let's get a little bit closer and let's look at our character here. So I want you guys to look for any separation, or I want you to look for any ghosting of the right image. You're looking through the left eye right now, and I'm willing to bet you can find almost none. And I call it ghosting, but that's more colloquial. What I really mean is crosstalk or crossover. So what Lightboost has done, in addition to dramatically increasing the brightness, is it has given significantly less noise between one image, the image you're supposed to be seeing, and the image that you do see, or rather the images, because that's how it's been a lot of the time in the past, for me anyway. So in something like Trine 2, which is absolutely beautiful in 3D, I can play for an extended period of time on 3D Vision 2, I know because I've done it in the past. However, with 3D Vision 1, I get a headache after about 15 minutes. It used to be on 3D Vision 1, I would do just fine with a DLP projector, but as soon as I went over to an LCD, because of the stereo crosstalk, seeing the left image in my right eye and vice versa, I just wasn't able to really use it past a little while. Like, it's cool and it's fun and it's great, but it would give me a headache after a while. So remember guys, Lightboost is compatible with 3D Vision V1 glasses, looks exactly the same through the actually I should double check that. Let's see if it looks exactly the same. Yeah, it looks exactly the same through the V1 glasses as it does through the V2s. The benefit of the V2 glasses is that they do have the bigger frames, so you are less likely to see sort of, you know, black cutoff instead of just the screen that you're looking at. Although personally I don't find the V1s that bothersome. I've never actually demoed them side by side like this before. So I think that pretty much covers it. Thank you for checking out my overview of the BenQ 2420. So far, out of the Lightboost compatible 3D Vision 2 ready monitors that I've tried. It is, I'd say, a worthy competitor. I don't think I can necessarily declare it to be the winner, because unlike the 2410, which was obviously better than its competition, which had things like glossy screens, sort of critical design errors in judgment, in my opinion. The Asus 27-inch that I've tried already is very good as well. So right now, without trying them side by side, I'd say it's about for all intents and purposes, equal. Both of them provide an excellent gaming experience with very little stereo crosstalk, so it's going to come down to whether you want a 24-inch or a 27-inch between those two right now. Like all 3D ready 120Hz monitors, you do have less overall color depth available to you, because there is less processing going on with the image. So what that means is that, okay, I'm not going to be able to get back to the Windows desktop. It means you're going to have less rich colors overall. This is a byproduct of trying to make such a fast panel with such quickly switching pixels. So you have to decide, do you want the lightning fast gaming performance? Do you want 120 Hz? Remember, 120 Hz is a benefit whether you're running 3D or not, because you do have a smoother overall experience. Or do you prefer rich colors, in which case you're going to want to go with an IPS or a VA or a PLS type panel. So thank you for checking out this unboxing and first look at the BenQ 2420T. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer